ABC7 News, the Panhandle Spirit, starts now.
Pray. That's what we need right now, guys. Just pray for our kids.
Because whoever did this is really selfish and cold-hearted. These are innocent people at our school.
If you would have heard what I heard this morning, the fear in my loved one's voice because of my son being in that classroom.
Really scary. Really scary.
Tonight, 10 people are dead, 9 students and 1 teacher after a teenager opened fire at a Texas high school outside of Houston in Santa Fe early this morning. Officials say 10 additional people were injured, including a police officer and 1 student who police detained. They believe he was an accomplice of the shooter. Tonight, we're learning the suspected shooter is 17-year-old Dimitrios Begorchis. He has been booked into the Galveston County Jail. He is being held on capital murder charges with no bond. Officials say additional charges could follow. Right now, the FBI and the ATF are working with the sheriff's office on the investigation. Governor Greg Abbott held a news conference today saying explosive devices, including a Molotov cocktail, were found in the suspected shooter's home, in a vehicle, as well as around the high school. The governor says the suspect said he originally intended to commit suicide, but gave himself up and told authorities that he didn't have the courage to take his own life. We're now checking in with Chauncey Glover with the latest in Santa Fe.
Fear and panic at Santa Fe High School.
They're having a shooting at the high school, have an officer down, shooter not in custody.
The school going on lockdown after reports of shots fired on campus around 8 this morning. Students saying they first heard fire alarms, then gunfire.
Everybody just started running outside, and next thing you know, everybody looks, and you hear boom, boom, boom.
We need to do more than just pray for the victims and their families.
Parents waiting anxiously, hoping to find their children.
Finally, they were leading her out of the school. Thank God she's okay.
Authorities confirming multiple people are dead, but the threat of danger extends beyond the high school.
There have been explosive devices found in the high school and surrounding areas adjacent to the high school.
Investigators say one person is in custody and another person of interest has been detained. President Trump addressing the shooting from the White House, vowing to keep students safe.
My administration is determined to do everything in our power to protect our students.
The latest mass shooting comes after the deadly high school shooting in Parkland, Florida. And outrage and frustration over these incidents is growing.
I shouldn't be going through this at my school. Like, this is my daily life. I shouldn't have to feel like that.
Authorities saying that alleged shooter using a shotgun and a .38 revolver. Both of those guns, police say, belong to the shooter's father. They say he owned them legally. This has been the 5th shooting since Parkland High School. In Santa Fe, I'm Chauncey Glover, ABC News.
And as Chauncey said, there have been 5 shootings since the shooting in Parkland, Florida. That only 3 months ago on Valentine's Day. We're breaking those down for you now. In Maryland, 2 students were shot. One of those students died a week after the shooting. Also, one officials call an accidental shooting at an Alabama high school where one 17-year-old student was killed and another injured after a student's gun discharged during dismissal that day. There was a shooting at Central Michigan University where a 19-year-old fatally shot his parents in his dorm room. No other students, faculty, or staff were injured. Then the shooting at Savannah State University where one person was killed. The woman was not identified as a student. The 5th shooting in the past 3 months was at Majori Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, where a 19-year-old opened fire, killing 14 students and 3 staff members. It ranks among the 10 deadliest shootings in modern U.S. history. The president sounded off on school shootings, saying there should be something done in the country. He showed his frustration by beginning his speech on prison reform to discuss the shooting.
This has been going on too long in our country. Too many years, too many decades now. We grieve for the terrible loss of life and send our support and love to everyone affected by this absolutely horrific attack. To the students, families, teachers, and personnel at
Hornan also made remarks following the shooting, saying in part, "I did talk to the deputy sheriff in the sheriff's office there to try and offer some assistance and to see if there's anything we can do to help. But until we know the facts and the circumstances, it's hard to comment on what happened. And certainly we are all standing by again, and our hearts go out to those who are affected by this terrible tragedy. Senator Corden paid a visit to Santa Fe tonight. He received a briefing from law enforcement and local officials on where the investigation stands now. Also, Governor Greg Abbott ordered all Texas flags to be flown at half-staff today in the wake of that shooting. All American flags were planned to fly at half-staff already for National Peace Officer Memorial Week in remembrance of officers lost in the line of duty. After the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, over 25,000 students across the country were polled about their opinions on gun control and safety measures. Almost 150 of those students polled were from Texas, and 65% of them say they believe gun laws should be stricter. 70% said the minimum age to buy assault weapons should be raised to 21, and 32% of students say they were likely to attend a protest or write a letter to a lawmaker to voice their opinions on gun regulations. And we are watching for any new developments out of Santa Fe, Texas. We'll be bringing them to you first as a push alert on your ABC7 News app. Make sure you have it on your phone. It's free. And in 25 minutes, we'll bring you live coverage on World News Tonight. But happening right here in the Panhandle, we still have a code red weather day with severe weather threatening the Northeast tonight. We're checking in with Storm Surge 7 meteorologist Steve Kirsch with the latest. Steve, a lot happening.
Yeah, Nicole, we already have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Gray and Roberts County. Storm going up quickly south of Perryton. Let's go live to two sky cams, one in Childress. Some strong thunderstorms heading into town there, not severe. On the right-hand side of the picture, the Pampa Regional Medical Center, that is a severe thunderstorm. Hail to the size of quarters and half dollars falling along Highway 70 north of Pampa, and that storm is heading north, so it's not heading into the city. Let's look at our Hudson Brothers Roofing Max radar. Again, you can see the watch box does not include Amarillo and Canyon. That severe thunderstorm watch will be in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. But let's zoom in on the severe thunderstorm first. There it is right along Highway 70 north of town, heading into western Roberts County. Other thunderstorms, these are the strong winds southeast and southwest of Childress, also south of Memphis and Esteline. In your out-the-door forecast, a few thunderstorms possible this evening. Then we'll start off tomorrow morning with a low of 59. Perhaps better rain chances over the weekend and cooler temperatures. We'll talk about that and more coming up here in about 10 minutes. Nicole?
Thanks, Steve. We look forward to that. Next, an update on the Mallard fire that has been burning in Armstrong County for more than a week. The fire is burning near the JA Ranch and in Mulberry Canyon. Tonight, officials say the fire is 77% contained and burned more than 75,000 acres. Officials say this may be the last update on the fire. Crews made great progress last night and don't know of any other hot spots within the fire. Today, crews extinguished the remaining hot spots and started demobilizing crews. They say a cold front coming through could produce wet weather. In international news, a Cuban plane crashed while taking off from Jose Martin International Airport in Havana. A large plume of black smoke was visible near the airport on the outskirts of the Cuban capital. According to Cuba state-run television, 104 people were on board the domestic flight headed to the Cuban city of Holguin. The state-run newspaper reported 3 survivors are in critical condition. The number of casualties and the cause of the crash is not known. Cuba's national carrier has had to ground some of its aging fleet because of safety issues. In national news, a man yelling about the president opened fire in the lobby of Trump National Doral in Florida last night. Authorities responded around 1:30 a.m. When they arrived, the suspect, who's been identified as Jonathan O'D, was armed with a handgun. Officers shot the suspect multiple times and took him into custody. He's undergoing treatment at a local hospital. His condition is unknown. Police say one officer suffered a wrist injury. The Trump National Doral is a golf club and its 800-acre resort outside of Miami. It was a significant week in Washington when it came to implementing some of President Trump's foreign policy goals. But keeping some of his campaign promises, especially as they relate to the Middle East, has come with some challenges as well. Our national correspondent Christine Frizau explains.
This week brought heightened tensions in the Middle East, all against the backdrop of the start of Ramadan and the opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. For the White House, it's meant central tenets of President Trump's Middle East policy laid out.
We are approaching the Mideast with clear eyes, that we are looking at the reality of the region. The reality is that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
But for opponents, it's meant a protest that evolved into violence.
While the ceremony was happening, just about 50 miles away, extreme significant violence, dozens of people killed. Talk about that juxtaposition.
That violence did not take place in West Bank or Jerusalem, as was widely predicted. It took place in Gaza. It was fomented and exploited by Hamas.
A Hamas leader acknowledged in an interview this week the idea of a peaceful resistance was a deception. Both he and the White House confirming of the more than 60 killed in the violence, 50 were members of Hamas.
As with a lot of things, this White House says its policy in the Middle East moving forward is about taking a different approach and taking different actions than previous administrations.
The previous administration prioritized the JCPOA, which of course was a very pro-Iran deal. We've taken the opposite approach.
Pulling out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also called the Iran nuclear deal, has created new fault lines with the traditional European allies.
We want to save this deal, which is not an easy exercise.
U.S. lawmakers also expressing concern for what happens next.
We obviously want to do everything possible to make sure that Iran never gets a hold of any nuclear weapons, but we also have to make sure that we're working with our allies in the region to bring peace.
The prospect of peace, a stated goal for many. The question of how to get there, once again, bringing no easy answers. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
And at this time, President Trump is still scheduled to meet with North Korean President Kim Jong-un in June. And when we come back here on ABC 7 News at 5, dramatic video out of Hawaii as the chaos continues on the Big Island from Kilauea. We're telling you how high lava shot into the air last night. Plus, the big day, it's finally here. The royal wedding is set for tomorrow. Find out the last-minute preparations before the couple says, I do. Next on ABC 7 News at 5.
2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now, one for Gray and Roberts County, another for Aquatree, Lipscomb, and Beaver counties. So look at the radar and your forecast next.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5 with David Bradley and Storm Surge 7 Chief Meteorologist Steve Kirsch. This is ABC 7 News, the Panhandle Spirit. Today's Storm Surge 7 Weather Almanac brought to you by Childers Brothers Incorporated, specializing in house leveling and foundation stabilizing. The most respected and trusted name in the business, offering free honest estimates in Amarillo and a 300-mile radius. Call today, 352-9563.
In national news, tough times for Cambridge Analytica, the data firm linked to Facebook and Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. The UK-based firm filed for bankruptcy in the United States. Cambridge Analytica announced a few weeks ago it would be shutting down. In papers filed today in New York, the company listed its assets of up to $500,000 and debts of $1 to $10 million. Cambridge is accused of misusing the personal Facebook data of millions while working for the Trump campaign in 2016, something the firm denies. Now take a look at this. Spectacular night video shows lava erupting from the ground on the east side of Hawaii's Big Island. A new fissure opened up last night, the 21st vent to form since Kilauea's latest eruption began May 3rd. The volcano shot ash and smoke 30,000 feet into the air. Rain kept the ash from spreading far. The U.S. Geological Survey said most of the debris ejected from the crater probably fell close to the explosion site. But Kilauea is not done yet. Scientists expect volcanic activity to continue. And in lighter news tonight, the countdown to the royal wedding is on. Final preparations are underway as millions around the globe gear up to watch. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are poised to exchange vows tomorrow after coping with some last-minute family drama. Molly Hunter has the latest from Windsor Castle.
The night before the big day, the groom and his brother taking a stroll around Windsor. But the bride out of sight, squirreled away in the posh Clifton House Hotel with her mother. Doria met the in-laws Wednesday, having tea with Prince Charles and Camilla, and today meeting her future son-in-law's grandmother. Usually not such a big deal unless she's the queen. Today, the palace confirming Harry's grandfather, Prince Philip, will definitely be there tomorrow looking spry for his 96 years. And the big question answered. The palace says Doria will bring her daughter to St. George's Chapel, but it will be Prince Charles who walks Meghan from the choir down the aisle to the altar.
That's really nice. I guess he never really had a daughter that he would be able to walk down the aisle, so I think it's nice that he's going to get to do that for Meghan. And it really just shows that she's joining into the family really smoothly, and I think it's really nice.
Oh, and the cutest wedding party in the world will also accompany the bride part of the way, led by Prince George and Princess Charlotte.
And the littlest member of the wedding party is just 2 years old. The eldest is 7, but it's going to be a big deal to watch the future King of England give away his future American daughter-in-law. Molly Hunter, ABC News at Windsor Castle.
Wedding planners estimate the wedding could cost a grand total of around $1.5 million. And don't forget, we are broadcasting full coverage of the royal wedding starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Plus, you can catch a special preview with 2020 as David Muir and Deborah Roberts, who will take a closer look into the most important women in Prince Harry's life, the Queen and his wife-to-be. That's tonight at 9 o'clock right here on ABC 7. Right now, let's check in with Storm Search 7, Steve Kirsch, for a look at the weather. It's
Yeah, it is indeed. We've got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, another storm popping up quickly north of the border. Let's show you something else the other guys can't. Sky cams from across the high plains. This one at the Pampa Regional Medical Center looking north. Just had some quarter-size hail fall out of that storm. This is a severe thunderstorm south of Perryton. This storm is rotating in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And we thought the northeastern panhandle and the eastern Oklahoma panhandle, some of these storms could spin and turn a little bit, and they are. Now, does that mean a tornado could be produced? It does improve the chances, and so this is one reason why our chasers really kind of focused on that storm. Here's the one again north of Pampa. Severe weather is expected for part of the high plains, but not all of it. Cooler temperatures for the weekend and perhaps better rain chances for those of us here in Amarillo and Canyon who need some rainfall coming up this weekend. So here are the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Notice we've got rain in the southeast panhandle too. The yellow outline box, the severe thunderstorm watch, which will stay in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. Storms moving off to the northeast and the southeastern panhandle moving a little bit quicker at about 35 miles per hour. You can see rain again in Childress. This is the 6th day in a row of rain there in Childress. Man, are they lucky. Some rain in Hall County, too. All right, here's a severe thunderstorm. A lot of lightning north of Pampa. The hail fall to the size of quarters has just been reported on Highway 7. You can see the storm forming quickly north of Borger, too. The other severe thunderstorm, the one south of Perryton, that one's heading northeast. You can see that warning box extends into southwestern Beaver County, Oklahoma. It is hot and humid in the eastern panhandle. 92 at Beaver, 91 at Shamrock. Hot and dry in eastern New Mexico, 92 at Tucumcari. You can see more weather data in our Storm Search 7 app. Have posted my Facebook Fastcast Live, and I'll have all the severe weather warning information on my Facebook page for you to check out throughout the night. All right, so the computer model shows the showers and thunderstorms popping up, moving off toward the north and east tonight as a weak cool front passes through tomorrow morning. So the winds will switch around to the northwest at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Notice a little bit of cloud cover. That's really going to be the key factor for tomorrow. We'll see cooler temperatures, though. Instead of high of 90 like we saw today, will be 86 tomorrow. Now, the showers and storms expected to roll across the Oklahoma panhandle, maybe here in Amarillo. But look what happens on Sunday. A lot of cloud cover, some rain around, but a high of 74. That'll be a pleasant change from the heat that we've seen lately. So a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the eastern panhandles. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now, including the cities of Perryton and Pampa. Here in Amarillo, I'm afraid we're going to be spectators to the storms tonight. Again, 59 for a low, 57 in Canyon. Tomorrow, some cloud cover in the morning. We'll see plenty of sun in the afternoon. Not as hot as what we saw today. And if you live in Clayton, not as hot at all, with a high of 77 there. Your Capital Farm Credit 7-day forecast. Still a chance of thunderstorms each and every afternoon. More cloud cover Sunday and Monday. We'll keep our highs in the 70s. And then we'll see more sun and high temperatures creeping back up to the 90s by next Friday.
But we have rain chances all next week.
We do, and that's a good thing. At least we've got a chance as opposed to no chance, which we're kind of used to.
All right. Thanks so much, Steve. Well, coming up on ABC 7 News at 5, it's going to be a lot easier to pick up your favorite soda. How Coke is now able to send your orders through the phone. We have it for you next. Now, a look at what's trending. Coca-Cola has a new fountain drink machine that will let you personalize your order. It's called Freestyle 9100. You'll be able to use Bluetooth technology to request exactly the sort of drink you want using the Freestyle app. There are nearly 200 beverage options, including more than 100 low-calorie and no-calorie choices. You can even get caffeine-free beverages if you need one. A camera in the machine may be used for facial recognition in the future, but that isn't a feature available yet. The new machine will collect data for research purposes, but Coke says it won't store any of the data the machine collects. And now a note for viewers. Please know that we will be re-airing last night's season finale of Grey's Anatomy. It will be this Sunday at 1 o'clock. So set your DVRs for then. We want to apologize for the inconvenience. Our transmitter experienced a power outage last night, leaving many of you at home without our programming. Coming up next, graduation season is around the corner, and we want to see your graduates. How you can share photos and videos with us next. Finally tonight, graduation season is here, and we want to see your favorite grad decked out in a cap and gown. Send us a photo or a video to burst.com/ABC7 Amarillo, and you could see it right here on our newscasts. And we need to be careful tonight.
We do. Let's go live to our sky cams. Perryton on the left, Pampa on the right. Perryton at Wright Elementary just had a report of some dime-sized hail near the Perryton Country Club. Pampa, that severe thunderstorm is just north of you. Hudson Brothers Roofing Max Radar. The severe thunderstorm warning stay in effect for Gray, Roberts, Aquatree, Lipscomb, and Beaver counties. As zoom in those storms are moving off to the northeast at 35 miles per hour.
Of course, you'll be here keeping us safe all night.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Steve. And thank you for being here for ABC 7 News at 5. You can always find us online at abc7amarillo.com. We have the latest news there. Have a great night.